GETTYWolfgang Schäuble reckons the UK might reconsider Brexit in the wake of the Salisbury poisoningsThe. President of the German Bundestag suggested Britain might attempt an extraordinary U-turn over Brexit as a result of the solidarity shown by European Union neighbours in the wake of the Salisbury nerve agent attack. Mr. Schäuble, who has often ruffled British feathers in his role as Angela Merkel's hardline finance minister, said he was still holding out hope the UK would change its mind. The British are experiencing a lot of solidarity and are starting to see things differently. Wolfgang Schäuble He said, "I do have hope that the Brits will remain in the EU. The attack in Salisbury showed how good it is to not stand alone in the world. The British are experiencing a lot of solidarity and are starting to see things differently. You realise, Europe works. PAThe police investigation into the Salisbury attacks continues. The UK government blames Moscow for the poisoning of former Russian soy Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. A global alliance of 27 countries including 19 EU member states, the US and NATO have backed Britain, between them having expelled around 140 Russian diplomats. A joint statement following an EU leaders' summit agreed with British intelligence's assessment that there was no plausible alternative explanation for the attack other than Russia's involvement. Mr. Schäuble said as a result of the show of solidarity, the British might realise that Europe works, and Britons could now question whether it would really be that smart or clever to leave the Brussels bloc. Moscow has vehemently denied any part in the Skripal case. The Kremlin has denied responsibility over the escalation of a diplomatic row between Russia and the West over the Salisbury outrage. And in a bizarre twist, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov today said the poisoning of the Skripals could have been carried out by British agents to deflect attention from Brexit. Mr. Lavrov accused Western countries of playing children's games, as he hinted of the possibility of Britain being behind the attack. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Britain could be behind the poisoning. She told a news conference, "There are other explanations besides those put forward by our Western colleagues who declared that it can only be the Russians who are responsible. Experts say that it could be highly advantageous to the British security services as well, who are well known for their capacity to act with a license to kill. It could also be advantageous to the British government, who clearly find themselves in a difficult situation, having failed to fulfill their promises to voters over Brexit. In times of Cold War there were some rules, but now Britain and the United States had dropped all propriety